السلام الملكي.
Please don't panic. You're kindly requested to leave your seats and evacuate the venue using exit doors at back and at the front.
بسم الله الرحمن الحمد لله الذي جعل العلم النافع طريقا موصلا لرضاه وصراطا يتبعه من أراد هداه ويحيد هواه رفع شأن العلم وأهله حتى وصلوا من المجد منتهاه ومن العز أعلى. والسلام على من بعث ربه هاديا ومعلما ونذيرا وعلى آله وأصحابه الذين كانوا مشاعل هدى ونجوم ضياء. أفضل صلاة وأتم تسليم. وبعد، سعادة الدكتور عيد بن محمد الهاجري مدير كلية الجبال الصناعية، العميد عبد الله بن معتق أبو مارقة مدير الدفاع المدني بالمنطقة الشرقية المكلف، ضيوفنا الكرام من الجمعية السعودية للسلامة والإطفاء والجمعية الوطنية الأمريكية للوقاية من الحرائق PA، أصحاب السعادة المدراء والوكلاء، ضيوفنا الأفاضل، أيها الحفل الكريم، نحييكم بتحية من القلب يطيب شذاها مسكا وريحانا، فالسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نرحب بضيوفنا الكرام في حفل برنامج أخصائي هندسة من الحرائق في كلية الجبال الصناعية. يعد برنامج أخصائي هندسة الحرائق الأول من نوعه في منطقة الخليج العربي لتأهيل مهندسين محترفي ذوي كفاءة عالية في مجال السلامة والوقاية من الحرائق، والذي هو ثمرة الجهد المشترك بين كلية الجبال الصناعية وكل من المديرية العامة المدني، الهيئة السعودية للمهندسين، الجمعية السعودية للسلامة والإطفاء، والجهات الدولية المتخصصة الأخرى. خير بداية لكل بداية عطر ودواء القلوب آي كريم ينير دربنا.
نور السماوات والأرض مثل نوره كمشكاة فيها مصباح، المصباح في زجاجة، الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة لا شرقية ولا غربية يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار، نور على نور، يهدي الله لنوره من يشاء ويضرب الله الأمثال للناس والله بكل شيء عليم. في بيوت أذن الله أن ترفع ويذكر فيها اسمه يسبح له فيها بالغدو والآصال رجال لا تلهيهم تجارة ولا بيع عن ذكر الله وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة يخافون يوما تتقلب فيه القلوب والأبصار ليجزيهم الله أحسن ما عملوا ويزيدهم من فضله والله يرزق من يشاء بغير حساب.
جينا نشمر عن سواعدنا، نحمل هممنا على أكتافنا، بعزمنا نصنع المستحيل وندلل الصعاب، نحفر في الحديد ونركز في أدق التفاصيل، اللي نشوفها واللي ما نشوفها، نحط بصمتنا بكل مكان، بهمتنا بنقود الوطن للمجد. احنا حلم الأمس اللي بيشوف النور، الشمس اللي بتشرق بكرة، فخر الوطن اللي يرفع الراس. وبالنسبة لنا هذه بس البداية. بالنسبة للوطن احنا المستقبل، واللي جاي هو الأفضل.
I would like to invite to stage Dr. Eid Al-Hajri, GIC Managing Director, to express his vision for this initiative and the importance of the GIC certification programs in professional careers. Dr. Eid.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I would like to warmly welcome you to today's inauguration events for the Fire Engineering Certification Program in collaboration with the Jubail Industrial College honorable partners, Civil Defense Saudi Association of Safety and Fire, and Saudi Council of Engineers. I would like to use this opportunity to express our sincere thanks to our respected guests from Civil Defense, SASF, National Fire Protection Association, Jensen Hughes, International Accreditation of Continuing Education and Training Organization, Exigency Consulting, delegates, also the delegates from industries, community, and others sitting in the hall for joining hands together with Jubail Industrial College for this remarkable events. Jubail Industrial College has always been a front runner in supporting national objectives and play its leading role for providing quality manpower in supporting the job market and industries. Aligning with the Kingdom's Vision 2030, Jubail Industrial College is proud to take these initiatives as an academic institution and offering this intensive 12 weeks certification programs, fire prevention, to provide innovative training which by all means meet national and international industries regulatory standards, as there is no such programs currently offered in the kingdom. Why such certification programs are important? What is it that makes one stand out ahead of his or her peers when it comes to education, knowledge, experience, and competencies? With more and more employers and pursuing their higher education, college degrees, how does one go about having the edge over his peers with all things being equal? The only way is through a continuous improvement. A continuous improvement can be done in different ways. That's involving continuing education and obtaining a professional degrees or certifications in the field that involves so many practice that can bridge the gap between academic and industries. Certifications are becoming more prevalent today, international and national. Because of the technology increase, there are some recent studies been done by some of the university, and they found out there are a gap between education and industrial needs. And there are different ways of bridging the gap. One of these is professional certification, which is a program trying to focus in this area. Our fire engineering certification program is a very broad-based credential, and it is applicable to multiple levels of career fields and provides recognition of professionals working in the area like properties, insurance, loss control type, industries, engineering services, fire services, facilities, and name it. We are trying our best here to provide all needed programs, certification to the markets. From academic point of view, we are always looking for the feedback from users, end users, from job markets, from industries. Without your feedback, we cannot really improve our education. One of the most important factors that is really participating in our improvement is your feedback. So please, do not hesitate to provide your feedback. That's going to be taken into considerations. And we are really appreciating your participating today. And inshallah, I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Eid, for your insightful beginning. Dear respected guests, allow me to invite on stage our first guest speaker, Al-Amid Abdullah Boumarga, Renegade General, Director of Civil Defense in the Eastern Province, to talk about implications of the certification programs in enforcing fire prevention codes and standards in the kingdom.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أصحاب السعادة، أيها الحفل الكريم، الأخوة الحضور، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يشهد عالمنا اليوم تطورات هائلة ومتسارعة في جميع المجالات، وهذا التطور المتسارع لا بد وأن يواكبه تطور في وسائل السلامة اللازمة لحماية الأرواح والممتلكات. ولقد شهدت في الآونة الأخيرة علوم الحرائق تطورا ملحوظا ومتسارعا في جميع أنحاء العالم على الجانبين العلمي والعملي، ووافق ذلك استحداث العديد من التخصصات في هذا العلم، وذلك لما له من دور هام في تحقيق الهدف السامي للمديرية العامة للدفاع المدني، وهو حماية الأرواح والممتلكات. الأخوة الحضور، إن ما نشهده اليوم من تدشين لبرنامج أخصائي هندسة السلامة من الحرائق لدليل واضح على أهمية هذا العلم في تطور الكوادر البشرية وتأهيلهم لتلك العلوم. إن المديرية العامة للدفاع المدني تسعى دائما إلى الدعم والمساهمة في البرامج التي تعود بالنفع والفائدة على المجتمع، كهذه البرامج والذي يسعدني أن أتقدم بخالص الشكر لسعادة عميد كلية الجبال الصناعية ولسعادة رئيس مجلس إدارة الجمعية السعودية للسلامة والإطفاء على هذه المبادرة، سائلا المولى عز وجل أن تؤتي ثمارها في القريب العاجل. وفق الله الجميع لما يحب ويرضى، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
شكرا العميد عبد الله أبو مارقة. Thank you, Brigadier General, for your speech. Now allow me to invite our second guest speaker, Mr. Hani Al-Alawi, Engineer and Executive Manager of Saudi Association of Safety and Fire, to express his views about this program. المعذرة، يبدو أنه في تغيير في الأسماء، ونعود للدكتور عبد الرحمن العرفج. وحياك الله، تفضل.
طيب، جزاك الله خير. لازم هذا ولا؟ طيب. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. طيب، هو الحقيقة الأستاذ هاني العليوي هو المدير التنفيذي، وأنا الحقيقة عبد الرحمن العرفج، أنا رئيس الجمعية السعودية للسلامة والإطفاء. والحقيقة يشرفني ويسعدني أني أكون معكم هنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أيها الحفل الكريم، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نيابة عن إخواني أعضاء مجلس إدارة الجمعية العلمية السعودية للسلامة والإطفاء ساسف، أرحب بكم وأشكر لكم حضوركم ومشاركتكم لنا في تدشين برنامج أخصائي هندسة السلامة من الحرائق الذي صممته وتنفذه كلية الجبيل الصناعية، التي عودتنا دائما على جودة برامجها وتميز خريجيها. فكرة هذا البرنامج أخذت الكثير من الدراسة والبحث والمراجعة لتتوائم مع متطلبات ومعايير السلامة العالمية، والتي تشترطها إدارة الدفاع المدني بالمملكة، وتماشيا مع توجهات الحكومة الرشيدة رعاها الله، وسعيا لتحقيق رؤية 2030 بحول الله وقوته. وهذا البرنامج سوف يخدم قطاع كبير من المكاتب الهندسية والمهندسين والمهتمين بأمور السلامة لتطوير قدراتهم ومعرفتهم لما يحتويه على مادة علمية وتدريبية حديثة. ومن منطلق أن الجمعية السعودية للسلامة والإطفاء أنشئت، ومن أهم أهدافها الاستفادة القصوى من التقنيات الحديثة في مجال السلامة والإطفاء، ونقل المعرفة عن طريق الجامعات والمراكز العلمية. تم دراسة البرنامج من قبل لجنة مشكلة من الإدارة العامة للدفاع المدني والهيئة السعودية للمهندسين والجمعية السعودية للسلامة والإطفاء، وتم التوصية باعتماد هذا البرنامج، ليصبح هذا البرنامج من البرامج المكثفة في تطوير قدرات المهندسين الغير متخصصين في السلامة، حتى يصبحوا مؤهلين لإعداد المخططات الهندسية واعتمادها من قبل الدفاع المدني. أيها الإخوة الكرام، أتشرف بدعوتكم جميعا لمشاركتنا في عضوية الجمعية، وأن تكونوا جزءا منها، والمساهمة من الجميع في إثراء هذه الجمعية بخبراتكم والمشاركة في فعالياتها والاستفادة من برامجها. وفي الختام أشكر للإخوة الكرام في كلية الجبيل الصناعية على حسن تنظيمهم، ويشرفنا دوما أن نكون شركائهم ونساهم معهم في نقل المعرفة والتقنية لما فيه خير لوطننا الغالي. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
شكرا للدكتور عبد الرحمن العرفج على كلمته القيمة. Gentlemen, now is the time for us to get more familiar with the vision and mission of the Fire and Safety Training Center. We will watch a video showing the programs and the partnerships that the Fire and Safety Training Center has established at JIC with national and international organizations. It will also show the certification programs and courses offered by the center, followed by Mr. Faris Zahrani's comprehensive presentation of this training.
Jubail Industrial College has established Fire and Safety Training Center to offer high-demand and career-oriented fire and safety professional training programs to prepare competent fire protection and safety professionals for the Saudi job market.
In Jubail Industrial College, we recognized a huge demand from professionals working in fire prevention and safety for certification programs that can offer recognition and needed educational qualifications for career enhancement. There are rarely such academies available in the kingdom that can offer recognized training programs in such fields.
Our collaborations. What makes Fire Safety Training Center distinguished is that it has done collaborations with international and national organizations, including the National Fire Protection Association, NFPA, Jensen Hughes, Exigency Consulting Australia, University of Central Lancashire, United Kingdom, the Saudi Civil Defense, the Saudi Association of Safety and Fire, and the Saudi Council of Engineers. The center is an authorized center in the region to conduct NFPA courses and certification programs, and its hands-on training facility for water-based fire protection system is the first one approved outside of the United States and Canada to conduct hands-on NFPA training sessions. The center offers 4 certification programs. 1. Fire Safety Engineering Certification Program. 2. Fire Safety Inspection Certification Program. 3. Safety Professional Certification Program. And 4. Safety Officer Certification Program.
These programs will endorse that the participants have taken extra steps to build their relevant knowledge, will make them highly trained and employable, both vocationally and academically, so that they are ready to apply their skills to national and global challenges.
The fire programs are aligned with NFPA, Saudi Fire Code, the United States National Fire Academy on Fire and Emergency Services higher education model, while the safety programs are benchmarked with OSHA, United States. The center is currently seeking international accreditation from IACET, the International Association for Continuing Education and Training, that provides accreditation for specialized professional training programs and courses. fire engineering certification programs. Our fire engineering certification program is recognized by the Saudi Council of Engineers and the Saudi Directorate of Civil Defense. The program is also approved to be a minimum qualification requirement for those who will pursue a career in civil defense consultant offices. The program is aimed to qualify engineers and technicians through a 12-week training modules that are designed and developed with technical consultation from practitioners and experts from the industry, and is designed for anyone who is in the industry and is committed to curtailing physical and financial losses caused by fires. The Fire Engineering Certification Program is a very broad-based qualification program and is applicable to multiple levels of career fields including property and insurance, loss control type industries, engineering background, fire services, facilities management, healthcare, aviation industry, and regulatory authorities. Safety Professional Certification Programs. The Safety Professional Program is an 11-week program that offers occupational and health safety professionals to get additional education and professional recognition. JIC safety programs explain theories behind what safety professionals know and what they apply in their workplace. It covers everyday aspects of safety in work, for example, working at heights, confined spaces, examining hazardous material, auditing hazardous waste sites, develop and maintain hygiene programs such as noise surveys, continuous atmosphere monitoring, ventilation surveys, injury management, safety practices in industries, on-site health and safety audits, and conduct safety training and education programs. Fire Inspector and Safety Inspector programs. The Center also offers inspection certification programs for both fire and safety for high school graduates to prepare them for a successful career. Fire Inspection Program is benchmarked with Fire Inspector 1 duties based on NFPA 1031 and prepares the candidates for NICET Level 1 certification programs. NICET is National Institute for Certification in Engineering Technologies, an organization to create recognized certification for engineering technicians and technologists. Hands-on training labs. The Center has established various hands-on training facilities to deliver the programs and courses, including 1. Fire Science Lab. 2. NFA-approved water-based fire protection systems lab. 3. Fire Alarm and Signaling System Lab. And 4. Fire Protection Design Lab. 5. Fluid Mechanics and Heat Transfer Lab as Support Lab. Fire Science Lab. The Fire Science Lab at JIC provides a variety of small-scale tests and training with different types of fire testing apparatuses. For example, testing construction materials, plastics, flammable liquids or combustible liquids, or any other material to analyze its resistance and/or reaction to fire. This lab provides a deep understanding of the fire development stages, rate of growth, and fire containment. JIC Water-Based Fire Protection Lab.
This is the fire hydraulic lab, and this is the active system. Here we have the wet pipe sprinkler system and the dry pipe sprinkler system, pre-action double interlock sprinkler system, and we have the deluge sprinkler system. So in this lab we can simulate the activity of the various types of automatic sprinkler system with the assistance of.
This NFPA-compliant lab provides hands-on training on fire pumps and various types of sprinkler systems. The lab also provides hands-on training on various sprinkler systems, including wet, dry, deluge, pre-action, and foam-based risers, hydraulic calculations, and inspection testing maintenance programs based on NFPA 13 and NFPA 25. Students are trained for pump operation, general parts and hardware, and hands-on activities on performing inspection, testing, and maintenance programs of fire pumps. The full lab is integrated with fire alarm control and fire alarm releasing panels. This lab is approved by NFPA to provide 2 of NFPA hands-on training sessions outside the United States and Canada, including 1. Hands-on NFPA 25, inspection, testing, and maintenance of water-based systems, and 2. Hands-on NFPA 13, sprinkler systems. Fire Alarm Signaling System Lab. This lab is equipped with a specially designed fire alarm systems training module designed by Jensen Hughes for training purposes and manufactured by Simplex with the latest technology. In this lab, the trainees will be trained all the way up from introduction of devices, panels, notification, and circuits wiring to a level where they will be able to design, install, accept, test, inspect, and maintain the system unit. The training is benchmarked with NFPA 72-NFPA document on fire alarm and signaling systems. Fire Protection Computer-Based Lab. A computer lab is introduced in the Fire Training Center to provide a design experience to the trainees of the certification program in various water and foam-based fire protection using simulation packages like Elite and AutoCAD. The center provides hands-on training for general safety, personal protective equipment, fire extinguishing training, construction safety, working at heights, scaffolding, ergonomics, safe work practices, and industrial hygiene. The center is also in process to establish hands-on training for special fire hazards suppression lab, including wet chemicals, dry chemicals, gas suppression, CO2 fire suppression, water mist and smoke management systems. With emphasis on professionalism and hands-on training, the center equips graduates with the skills and knowledge they would need for different positions in the fire protection and safety fields and prepares them for lead positions with successful careers.
هذه عاد ما ادري هذه لي ولا للفيديو. الله يسعدكم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Good morning everybody. I would like to welcome you again to GIC, precisely Fire Safety Training Center. And my name is Faris. I'm a fire safety instructor working under the center. And today I will give you just I hope, brief description about the program, the curriculums we are about to teach in the Certified Fire Safety Engineering Specialist program. Before I get along with the program basically is 11 weeks module, and we are teaching that in 12 weeks. So all the modules goes for 1 week, except fire protection, it goes for 2 weeks. Now, the modules are taught in 30 hours on a weekly basis. It's very intensive. Some modules, they have the theory part, and some modules, they have both theory and practical. And I think you have seen the hands-on facility. And the way we have arranged the modules is that, we will take the students from the basics till designing level. And to be honest, we're not going to make an expert, but we're going to try our best to level up the awareness and to have qualified and competent people in the market working in a fire. And the issue is that when it comes to fire, it comes to people's life, right? So the first module we're starting off is fire behavior and combustion. Basically, the module introduces the basics of fire. I'll tell you one story. I met guys and, they kept telling me for the first 2 modules, like fire behavior and hazmat, why are you teaching that when it comes to fire engineering, designing on those things? And I always kept telling guys like this, like, what is the point if you are designing and you don't know the basics of fire, right? And you don't know how the fire, grows, how it moves around, how the flame, hits the ceiling jet, how the sprinkler goes off. If you don't know those things, you will not be able to design, a system. So this is the first module, fire behavior and combustion. As I told you, we teach us everything about chemistry and physics of fire. This module has two parts. It has a theory part and the practical part. In the theory part, everything about heat, how heat moves, convection, conduction, radiation, fire physics, fire phenomena, flashover, backdraft, and those stuff we're teaching in here. So we're giving the fundamentals of fire in the first part of the module. Second part comes the hands-on training. We're teaching something. We will show people how to smoke, how to test the density of smoke, how this fire rating testing and those stuff we have in the facility. This is for the first module. And after that, straightforward comes the hazardous material. In the hazmat courses, hazardous material course, we teach us everything, like chemistry of those hazmats, how would you store them, how do you prevent fire by good housekeeping practices. In addition, we're teaching people how to access the international code, like NFPA 400, emergency response book, or emergency response guide, and to understand how this material will react in case of fire, because that will make a very big impact in your designing and the way you select system. Life safety principles, which is most likely based on the BA 101 and Saudi Building Code. That 23rd September 2018 we published the Saudi Building Code, second edition 2018. So this course is highly, constructed using Saudi Building Code and NFPA 101. And in some section we are showing the differences, because we have little differences in measurements, especially door on those stuff and occupancy. We're showing all of these things. And after that, comes building construction. Now, in building construction, again, we're teaching both of them, life safety and the Saudi Building Code. I'm going to be honest with you, we're not teaching the full code because there's no way you teach the code. We're just touching the main topics, the topics that most of the consultation officers are doing major mistakes with. So we're considering that. And just to highlight this picture, in the building construction, generally in fire protection, we have something they call it like a passive and an active fire protection. The passive one is the measures that we use to make an enclosed building, and to prevent fire. In case a fire occurs, we need to prevent it by the building structure itself, not to leave the building. That is the passive fire protection. And a very good example of that is that this picture shows we have a fire and we have a complete enclosure. When you say enclosure, is that the doors, the window, the access panels, the miniaturation, everything is sealed, everything is resisting fire. Fire cannot leave area for a certain time. So that was what we mean by passive fire protection. So if you look to this picture, we have a fire, but fire ain't, is not going to get out of there, for a certain time, and that would be called passive fire protection. And I hope that within 1 hour or 2 hours, no matter what is the rating, I hope that firefighter will come in and catch the fire before it goes. And one of the courses we're teaching is a fire alarm signaling system. We have hands-on on that, so that theory part and practical part is there in the course. 30 hours again. We teach the basics, like the fire products, the output of the fire, and based on that output, you're going to select your type of detection. And the issue is that, these outputs differs, if you have a heat, we have multiple types of heat detectors. And so you have to understand the situation, the material in there, the environment, to select, the most appropriate type of detection system. We talk about designing, principle of designing, and we end up with plan review, like some example to do plan review. In this course, as I told you, you have a hands-on facility, and the hands-on facility is designed from basics to, I'm not going to say designing, because designing is in software, but it's basics. We take from basics. We show you the internal parts of detector, flow switches, and most of the components, moving to inspection, testing, maintenance, how to access panel, how to respond in case of emergency, how generally to deal with the panel. And everything in this course is based on NFPA 72. we had a comment like, why you're not teaching Saudi building code in this course? And the Saudi building code is a life safety code. It's just general, if you have this occupancy, please provide a medical point and a heat detection, for example. But it won't tell you how you're going to space it, how you're going to design the room. So there it comes like in a bay 72, in a bay 20, in a bay 13. Hydraulics, we teach the basic hydraulics. The fluid profile, how fluid moves, friction losses, and we have a support hands-on facility for this. I'll give you an example. We have a sprinkler system. We have 4 different types of sprinkler, and there's one common type of valve. We call it a differential, valve, most likely used in deluge or reaction or dry. So in that differential pressure, you should have a difference between the upstream and downstream pressure across the valve so that the valve operates. Now, in the support hands-on facility, we have a full demonstration which shows that to the people, how the valve will trip when the upstream pressure reduces, to a certain point and opens the clubber. Fire protection 1, it is the, the supply part of a fire protection system, like tank, underground mains, and pump. We teach that in this course. After that comes the other part, Fire Protection 2, which goes for 2 weeks. The first week, we are teaching the sprinkler system, standpipes, hoses. And the second week, we're teaching the special hazard system, like gases, fire extinguisher, foam system. Now, we have 3 weeks, we're talking about water supply. We're going together all of that into a course, Fire Protection Design. We're using software. We have a BibeNet and Elite or Elite. And it's all, designing course, how would you design sprinkler, obstruction, and those stuff. Then fire prevention and code enforcement. In here, we're going to teach people how, the value of the codes. Like always, you keep telling people, those codes and standards are put upon people's life. Like people have to die, then people will learn and they will change the standard, or they make it better to save the next generation, next people. So we are going to teach the people like the value of those codes. Please do not underestimate it. Like maybe your cousin will die one day, your brother, your mother, your father, because of that. Because of what? Because of misdesigning, not enough knowledge. Or sometimes, people, misuse these codes and standards. Plus, we're going to teach the code enforcement. How would you enforce the codes and the code making process? Like these codes, it goes through a cycle. So we're teaching those cycles, in addition to engineering ethics. Eventually, we have fire plan review. We are putting everything from the first course, fire combustion behavior, to the last course, the code enforcement, into one course, fire plan review. And here we will give like a set of plans to the students, and they're going to practice whatever they have learned in the past 11 weeks, and they're going to apply it in those papers. And in today's, we have like a couple of booths, and each booth is simulating one topic of our modules. So we have like 5 to 6 different topics. Inshallah, when the booth time comes, you will have a deep look in that. Approval and recommendation of the program. We have the approval done by our major partner, Saudi Civil Defense, and Saudi Association of Fire and Safety. The issuing authority is the one who's going to issue the certificate is GIC, Jubail Industry College. And of course, we operate under Royal Commission of Jubail Yamba. And just to tell people, we don't have an approval. We don't have it from Saudi Council of Engineers, because Saudi Council of Engineers, they don't approve programs, but we have a recommendation, Tawsiyah. They're recommending the program, one of the best programs in the kingdom. But they ain't approval because they are not a body that approves programs. Program rewards, first of all. Everybody that passes, the program. Now, let me tell you one thing. We have 11 modules, and the students have to pass all the modules. You will not be awarded a certificate unless you pass all the modules. There is an assessment criteria, computer and high security, environment to do testing. So once he's done with the program, we're going to give him a badge of course, and he will be qualified. If he meets civil defense requirement, he will be qualified to work in consultation offices or in companies that perform testing, inspection, and maintenance. Plus, you'll be recognized as an expert, and it will create you a career advancement. If you have, okay, I have the knowledge, but now I have something that tells you, my employer, that I have the knowledge. So that is a career advancement. It will give you a value of your release. So what next is that now we spent almost 2 years to get this done. I mean, GIC has spent a lot of money, a lot of manpower, man hours to get this in this shape you see today. So we're not going to stop there. You know, we're not going to take money from people, and you know, we want to reward them much more. You know, the idea of creating such a program is to elevate, you know, people's knowledge. So we are creating a connection. Like, if the students comes to the program, he pays the money, he studies for 3 months, he leaves the program, okay, I'm getting A+, I'm good. We'll keep a connection with the students for 6 months, 3 months. We did not decide yet, but there will be a connection through something we call it GIC Exchange. And the idea of the connection, we created this in the center. And the idea of this connection is that to make sure whenever a student of us is having a little problem understanding something, he can come back to us through this channel, keep asking questions, and we'll answer him. If he asks questions that we cannot answer, we get the partners, right? We have NFPA, we have Jensen News, we have all the partners. So this is the idea of GIC Exchange. It's going to be like online library. We'll keep, you know, online lessons. We'll keep videos, investigation reports, accidents, you know, some plan reviews, and we'll keep in touch with the student to make sure, like, he masters the knowledge. You know, we will do our best to make sure the student is doing what he's supposed to do. And by this, I would like to tell you thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Yasser, for your presentation. And by the way, that round of applause was actually for you. National Fire Protection Association is a leading global nonprofit organization that develops and maintains codes and standards for fire prevention to protect people from death and injuries, protect property and economic loss due to fire, and eliminates electrical and related hazards. It is our pleasure to invite our respected guest and first keynote speaker, Mr. Jonathan Hart, from the National Fire Protection Association. In his presentation, Mr. Hart will shed light on NFPA's fire protection ecosystem.
Assalamu alaikum, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here today in front of you all. All right. The NFPA has been in the business of fire and life safety. We have developed a worldwide respected code development process, and that has really served as the background, the backbone of how NFPA has provided the basis for fire and life safety across the world. The mission of NFPA is to eliminate loss from fire and electrical hazards. And in doing that, over 120 years, what we have looked at is what does it take to actually result in the level of safety that means that we are safe in this room. We can go out to eat and be safe in any building. Our employees can go to work and be safe. How do we get to that point? And we've realized that it's much more than just a code. There's a role for everybody in this room in actually achieving fire and life safety. And it's on each and every one of us to ensure that what we have is an ecosystem that is the complete picture of fire and life safety that works together so that everyone can be safe and we can work towards that goal of eliminating loss from fire and electrical hazards. And so over the last year or so, the NFPA has provided this explanation as to what we call the fire and life safety ecosystem. And it's what you see on here, and there's 8 different components that we have identified that need to be in place all together, all working at the same time. There's a government responsibility to adopt and enforce current codes and standards. There's a requirement for, on the NFPA side, to keep our codes and standards current for technologies based on experiences that we are having, to make sure that what we are putting out there, putting in everyone's hands, is the best, newest information to provide fire and life safety. It's important to understand the reference codes and standards within a single code. We can't just pick up one document, follow that, and say that we're meeting a full picture of fire and life safety. There's reference standards in each document, and those all need to be brought in as well in order to provide that full level of safety. I can't just provide a sprinkler system, and if I don't have enough pressure, ignore NFPA 20, for example. I need fire pumps, I need to go to the reference document. Then I need to maintain that and go to the reference document to know how to inspect, test, and maintain that system. And then there's the bottom 3 here, which is where we'll spend the most time in my brief time here with you this morning. It's an investment in safety is required. And that's an investment from a cultural perspective, from companies. It's an investment, it's exactly what the JIC program that was just introduced is. It's investing in students and providing them a complete background in fire protection, what it takes to have a complete understanding of all the different aspects that are covered in fire and life safety. It's an investment by industry to ensure that they're receiving the most qualified and competent people. And then it's an investment when we have those people that we are going to continually provide that on a day-to-day basis in operation of our buildings and our facilities. Then there's the skilled workforce, which plays right into that. That's exactly what these training programs provide. It's what the partnership with NFPA and JIC provides, where NFPA's courses are offered through JIC on more specific topics rather than the broad programs that are often presented, where we can truly focus on one particular program. It's enforcement. We can have buildings constructed, and there's 2 levels of enforcement. It's plan review. It's understanding the design, permitting the building to be opened. We can design a beautiful building that's put into place, meets the codes and standards, provides a high level of fire and life safety, but if enforcement ends at that point, if we aren't invested in safety and have qualified personnel with recurring inspections, well, things inside that building can change at any time. Over time, some safety aspects could be ignored, some processes, some of the things inside that building could change, and if there isn't this constant enforcement, this constant look at what the level of safety of any particular building is, well, then we don't have the fire and life safety that we thought we did. It might have been great at that start, at the beginning of the building's lifespan, life cycle, but we need to constantly evaluate that. So there's the enforcement side of that. It's part of what JIC and NFPA offer through Certified Fire Investigator 1 and 2 and Certified Plans Examiners. These are programs that help in that enforcement. It's also emergency preparedness and planning. It's having an understanding that despite our best efforts, things can still go wrong. It's planning for the worst. And hopefully that day never comes, but if we have not pre-planned, expected what could happen, trained our staff how to respond to incidents, that's something that truly has had demonstrated poor effects on outcomes. A small event can turn into a major event if we don't have pre-planning, if we don't know what the actions are and have not trained staff. We'd like to pretend something bad may never happen, but it's certainly something that we have to anticipate, we have to plan for and be prepared for the time that hopefully never comes, but if it does, we know the steps that we'll take. The last is having an informed public. It's having people understand all the things that go into fire protection and life safety. It's working with the public to understand what our roles are, everyone in this room who do different things, to provide fire and life safety, because the public can not know that. They could ignore things that we've put in place to provide them that fire and life safety, and then that just can hurt the entire process. So really what we have is an entire ecosystem, and it requires all of these things to be working together. I had the question posed to me before, what's the most important? I can't say that anything in here is actually the most important. Everything needs to work together, and everyone in this room has a role to play. JIC and NFPA and that partnership really hits on the investment in safety, having the qualified personnel, and on the enforcement side. It's been a demonstrated partnership that has worked. We're happy to be working with JIC. We're very happy to be here today and see the programs that they're now offering. NFPA is dedicated to that vision. We think we are in a unique position as an organization worldwide that truly impacts every single one of these cogs in this ecosystem. All of us may not be able to affect it all, but we do need to have an understanding as to how it all plays together to provide that level of fire and life safety. We're happy to be here, and again, we think that the partnership with JIC, the programs that they're offering, the NFPA programs that they offer through them truly are working towards providing this ecosystem and making sure that we do achieve a true level of fire protection and life safety no matter where we are. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Hart, for your informative presentation. Our second keynote speaker, Mr. Joe McCleary, Chief Executive Officer for International Association for Continuing Education and Training, whose mission is to advance the global workforce by providing the standard framework for quality learning and development through accreditation. Mr. McCleary will introduce accreditation of continuing education program. Mr. McCleary.
Wow, what an exciting day to be here at JIC, right? Definitely, I see a lot of heads nodding. My name is Joe McCleary, and I am the Chief Executive Officer, as you just heard, for IACET. It's the International Association for Continuing Education and Training. Some of you may not be familiar with us. How many of you have heard the term Continuing Education Unit? CEU, sure. Our organization coined that term back in the 1970s as a part of the ongoing improvement process that the United States Department of Education wanted to employ on adult education programs. At IACET, the organization I lead, we're an accreditation agency of some of the best training providers in the world. Perhaps you've heard of some of the companies and organizations that we have accredited. For example, Siemens. Have you heard of Siemens? Sure. Siemens, we've Chevron, Emerson, NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, Bechtel Energy, and over 1,000 other providers who have gone through the process of having their training recognized by our organization. You've heard a lot today about the need for ongoing improvement. You can never just arrive and have a great program. It doesn't work that way. While you may arrive, there's a process of ongoing, continual improvement. In this information age today, things change like that. And we have to be prepared for that type of change in everything from computer technology to fire suppression. And IACET helps provide the way. I'm pleased to announce that Jubail Industrial College will soon join the ranks of some of these famous and well-known organizations that are accredited by us. I've traveled halfway around the world to celebrate this day with you. On behalf of our chairman and board of directors, I'm here to say congratulations, and that we look forward to working with you as a premier provider of fire and safety engineering. That's right. That's right. I should say that working with our organization to achieve accreditation is not easy. It's very difficult to achieve our accreditation. It requires professionalism, dedication, discipline, and quality. I've worked with thousands of education providers in my life, and I see the very best and some of the very worst. And I'm happy to report to you that Mohammed Hamid Gomasadek, we call him Hamid, he's here someplace, and I can tell you that he and his team are ready to take on the challenges ahead. I've reviewed their preliminary work to achieve our accreditation and found it very quality. We look forward to completing the final steps of accreditation very soon. I should say that the team here at JIC do not work with IASET to achieve accreditation because it is easy. They work with us because it is hard. They realize that excellence only comes through challenge and rigor. Saving lives only comes through preparation and difficult training. Those of you who are in this business know that all too well. As I reflected on the thoughts for today, I did some research on famous fires that have happened all over the world. And while almost every major city in the world at one time or another has burned to some degree, London, in the year 1212, 3,000 people died in that great city. One of the world's great fires in Rome happened in 64 AD. In 1871, the Great Chicago Fire left more than 17,000 structures burned and 90,000 people homeless. Just a year ago in Riyadh, a fire at a carpentry workshop in the capital city here had left 10 people dead and 3 others injured. And we could go on how fires affect people's lives. It isn't just about putting them out. It's about never letting them happen. Fire and its deadly effects have touched each of us throughout global history. Those who have dedicated their lives to engineering solutions protect us from the devastating effects of fire and those people like you, have a special place in our society. They're our heroes, our first responders, our thinkers, our engineers who inspect our homes, our factories, and places of work. To see the unseen, to be able to help us identify the things that could alter our lives at any moment. And I'm proud to be here today as the Jubail Industrial College launches its very own fire engineering program. As we celebrate the launch of this program, let's look forward to the benefits and the results of this important work. The work that happens in this program will no doubt save lives over its future. The true effects of their work will rarely be appreciated, as these honorable people like you will save us, many of us, from the worst disasters. The solutions they design, the devices they install, the preparation they make will benefit all of us and our children. They are enabling a father to come home safely from work, a son or daughter to return safely from school. They are allowing us to shop and celebrate in safety and security. For all of that, for all of us, Mohammed, we owe you and your team a debt of gratitude for today and tomorrow. Thank you very much.
I don't know why Mr. Muhammad hid somewhere. He's not around here. He doesn't want to hear the good words about him. So, Allow me now, please, to invite our third keynote speaker, Mr. Adam Alleman, Managing Director of Jensen Hughes, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the title for his speech will be Influencing Cultural Change for Fire Protection and Safety.
Thank you very much. So I grew up 7,500 miles away from here in a small town of less than 6,000 people. My parents laid out rules at home, how to behave, how to treat others, to encourage me to study and to learn. And if I did not heed these rules and encouragement, I was disciplined. They did this because they cared for me. They wanted to pass down to me a better life and help me, as well as my brothers and sisters, to have a better chance for success. As I have grown and traveled these many thousands of miles, I have found that we all want better lives for our children, for our families, and our friends, and each other. This is true here in Saudi Arabia as it is in the small town thousands of miles away. And that template that was used is being used now. Is it the next slide? Oh, do I? Okay. Rules, regulation, education and training, and enforcement. Jensen Hughes has worked with civil defense to perform comprehensive international code studies and code comparisons. These studies over the years is an important part of the cultural change that resulted in the new Saudi Building Code and Saudi Fire Code. Experts in their field, respective individuals within Jensen Hughes and instructors at Jubail Industrial College have committed time, contributed knowledge to create and refine the many standards that are referenced in the new Saudi Building Code. Jubail Industrial College, working with Jensen Hughes and others, have created educational materials, labs, and classes to provide training and to transfer knowledge to Saudis and other nationals right here in Jubail. With the patronage of companies, organizations, and individuals such as yourselves, Jubail Industrial College will foster a higher level of learning in fire and life safety. And with that knowledge and training, the graduates of these programs will be better equipped to fill job opportunities in fire and life safety implementation and enforcement. At Civil Defense, the municipalities, private testing labs, HSC and loss prevention departments, specialty engineering firms such as ourselves, construction and maintenance companies. The evolving regulations for fire and life safety brought by the new Saudi Fire and Building Codes, the educational and training courses being developed by Jubail Industrial College, and the enforcement of standards will lead to a safer and better world for generations to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Alleman, for your word. Jubail Industrial College has been able to forge strong industry education links and collaborations with national and international organizations in various joint projects in academic, scientific, research, training, and other fields of common interest. The collaboration and joint projects from different sectors will greatly contribute to the achievement of the objectives of the Saudi Vision 2030 and will significantly increase the opportunities for the professional development and career enhancement in the kingdom. We will now proceed to our agreement and memorandum of understanding signing session, where JIC will sign agreements and MOUs with our partners. Allow me to call Dr. Eid Al-Hajri on stage, please, for the signing session. Again. I will also now call our first partner on stage to proceed with the signing. الجمعية السعودية للسلامة والإطفاء, Saudi Association of Safety and Fire. Dr. Abdurrahman Al-Arfaj, President of SASF Board, to sign a partnership agreement between SASF and JIC for Fire Engineering Certification Program. شكرا دكتور عبد الرحمن. Our second partner to come on stage, FAHS TUV Nord, Mr. Jamal Sagr Al-Baijan, CEO of TUV Academy, Saudi Arab, to sign agreement for JIC ISO School, NFPA training, and other JIC short courses and certification programs. شكرا أستاذ جمال. Jensen Hughes, our fourth partner, please come on stage to proceed with the signing. Mr. Jim Bajchowski, Senior Vice President of Jensen Hughes, to sign second memorandum of understanding between JIC and Jensen Hughes in training, fire testing, product certification, and other consultancy services. Thank you, Mr. Bajchowski. Our fifth partner, King Saud Medical City, Mr. Hatem Al-Rashdan, Operation Executive Manager of the King Saud Medical City, to sign a memorandum of understanding between JIC and King Saud Medical City in training, consultation, and scientific research. شكرا أستاذ حاتم. Our sixth partner, Occupational Safety, Health Association and Security, OSHAS, Mr. Mish'al Al-Isa, Chairman of OSHAS Board, to sign a memorandum of understanding between JIC and Occupational Safety, Health Association and Security in Community Services, volunteering and training in occupational health and safety. شكرا أستاذ مشعل. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us to witness our strategic collaboration. This collaboration will further enhance JIC mission and vision and is going to line up JIC with the Saudi Vision 2030. Now it's time to lay the foundation stone for much awaited fire Engineering Certification Program by JIC, Managing Director Dr. Eid Al-Hajri. Allow me to call the gentleman on stage as well. The Brigadier Al-Amid Abdullah Abu Marga from the Civil Defense. Dr. Abdurrahman Al-Arfaj from the Saudi Association of Safety and Fire. Dr. Sarhan Al-Biti, JIC Deputy Education and Training Affairs. And Mr. Muhammad Hamid, Director Fire and Safety Training Center, JIC. Please welcome with me the gentleman over here. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us for this wonderful occasion as a part of JIC continued success. At the moment, we will honor our partners and speakers for today's event. Al-Amid Abdullah Abu Marga, on behalf of General Director of Civil Defense, Dr. Abdurrahman Al-Arfaj, President of the Saudi Association of Safety and Fire. Mr. Jonathan Hart, the National Fire Protection Association. Mr. Joe McCleary, Chief Executive Officer, the International Association for Continuing Education and Training. Mr. Adam Alaman, Saudi Arabian's Jensen Hughes Managing Director. Thank you, our guests and speakers, for your contribution to this ceremony. To wrap up our event, we would like to express our sincere thanks to all who've come from industries and different organizations to join us for this wonderful event. Please pay a visit to our booth today, which will be followed by some, would say, delicious food on the other side. Thank you very much for being here today.